We're back to the Inside Scoop Emerald Planet. Here again, your host, Dr. Sam.
Hello and welcome to the Emerald Planet TV. As we come to you on a week-to-week basis, we're looking across the globe in 144 different nations, looking for the people, first of all, but also the technology, services, products that are making a difference as we move through the 21st century. And as we will have 9 billion people on the planet by 2050, how are we going to be able to take care of them? And so we're talking and focusing much on water and energy, but at the same time housing and the medical facilities that are needed to take care of these people. We have a gentleman coming on. His name is William. He goes by Bill F. Guglielmo. He's CEO of ITL Solutions. And then sitting right beside me is Dr. Jose Colucci Rios, professor retired of University of Puerto Rico. And Bill, are you here with us by Skype?
Yes, good evening.
I'm glad to have you there, and thank you for being with us. And as you know, we have Jose sitting right beside me as our special guest as a backup. But tell us a little bit about ITL Solutions.
Well, first off, thank you for having me very much this evening. It's a great opportunity to speak with both of you and the opportunity to talk about how we as a company impact the Emerald Planet. ITL Solutions is primarily a government contractor for the United States. Our focus is on improving effectiveness and efficiency for our clients within the Department of Defense primarily, but throughout the United States government. Ownership of our country, we're both U.S. Navy veterans. Frank is a U.S. Navy veteran, focusing on cyber operations and defense. Spent time with the U.S. Navy doing that, as well as the Department of Justice, and has a lot of extensive experience doing federal government contracting in that realm.
Yeah, I'm going to put up I had the logo there for your main organization, ITL Solutions. I now have the Modula-S up, which is what we're going to really focus on, combining the power and all these other things as far as construction is concerned. So tell us a little bit about Modula-S, what it means, why such a unique name, and then what is the mission and vision of this particular branch of your organization?
Absolutely. So we're very pleased to be partnered with Modula-S, and our company, having our experience, the Department of Defense, has been fortunate that Modula-S is one of those partners that is supporting that same effort and doing so in a unique way to provide a sustainable solution. And Modula-S is a net zero energy modular construction system that uses containers as the fundamental building blocks of the construction system. What makes it truly unique is its insulation system and the inherent antimicrobial fixtures and equipment that come along with it. Essentially, it becomes an economically effective green system within Modula-S.
Now, looking at this as zero carbon emissions, zero as far as, well, but more than that, it's just the fact is it just eliminates any use as far as the petrochemical energy sources and all that. How did you come up with that particular design? Because it's very unique. When I saw you at National Defense University through the Star Tides program, I said, this is an absolutely incredible product.
Yes, and we're very excited about it too. It's very unique proprietary technology that Jack Rutherford of Modula-S developed, and it's the insulation, which is rated at R60+. And that means it's a passive system that is reducing the energy consumption that you would normally have on a building that would be due to the air conditioning needs. So when you're looking at very hot climates or very cold climates, the ability to provide that super insulation gives you the ability to reduce the energy demand and put a much smaller air conditioning or heating and ventilation system than you would normally need.
And that's why you can go with the solar and probably add wind to that if you like, because an R60 really is above even the lead design grade as far as your insulation and the roof, which is about 70% of your heat loss and gain. But if you have, is that a 60 R60 around the whole container itself?
Yes, and so the panels themselves are what make up the insulation, and they strap on all 4 sides, well, 6 sides in that effect. And what's key that too is that it also gives us the ability to tap into geothermal as one of our different aspects. So with wind, solar, and geothermal, we have quite a versatility there. And I give you an example of the insulation itself and how effective it is. The alpha testing was put on a building in Idaho, tested there, and it was reduced the energy consumption on that house from $700 a month to $100 a month. So really great, showing that it's using in a real world environment and has the ability to really make something over the long term effective.
Well, the whole thing about it too is that not only are reducing the energy needs that you have regardless of the cost, even if it's renewable, but the fact is it's just so much more comfortable. And whether in your very hot climates or your very cold climates, either way you still need to have insulation, and that's something I think, Bill, most people forget. Oh, it's hot, we don't need it, but you really do.
Oh, absolutely. And the ribbon wall technology that exists in our insulation is key to that, reflecting the thermal radiation that exists within those hot climates. And we see it as an important part of our Modula-S system and the ability to keep the people inside of it cool. And it's passive, so you're not looking at the failure concerns that you would have. So with the ability to reduce the air conditioning load and provide a passive system in there, you're going to provide a much comfortable long-term solution for people, both in the United States and any emerging market you could see out there.
That's absolutely fantastic. Bill, I'm going to let my good friend Jose, who's sitting right beside me, to ask the next question. Jose?
Yes, good evening, Bill. I got a question. What does Modula-S do differently than existing construction companies?
So we talked a little bit already about the insulation and the containers as being the integral parts of our construction. But some other unique factors that really make it different are what make it a healthy building. We've a partner with Cuvero and Roland Brass, and this Cuvero metal is 99.99% effective at killing bacteria and microbes. So when you look at that and you put it in a building, whether it's a clinic or a house, you have the ability to kill very serious infections such as E. coli, MRSA infections, and this is the metal. So it's long-term durability. You're going to be able to make it into light switches, handrails, sinks, bedposts, anything you can make into a current metal, it can be made into Cuvero. And it's EPA certified to have that 99.99% effectiveness in killing bacteria. So we see this as just another force multiplier in what makes Modula-S unique and so different than what's out there with other existing construction.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and you're doing it so that's long term, so actually you're embedding this particular material into the metal as manufactured?
It's not so much embedded as it is the metal itself. It's a copper-nickel alloy, and the copper itself creates an inherent antimicrobial capability. Over history, there's studies have shown that copper has that ability to kill bacteria, and our partners at Olin Brass have taken the time to take the long-term studies of it, make it into a metal that can be durable, that has the same characteristics of stainless steel, so we can put it in many of the same environments that you would normally see stainless steel, but instead of having stainless steel which can grow bacteria, a system that actually actively kills bacteria on contact.
That's absolutely incredible, and we're working on a project where we have a material that actually kills all blood-sucking insects. So combine these technologies together, we'll actually be able to clean up the areas in developing countries where they have a real need as far as cleanliness is concerned, but also to remove, a lot of the germs and bacteria and other things that are really a problem. What is this Ebola Grand Challenge? And tell us a little bit about that and why it's so important to think about this type of challenge. So you're addressing healthcare delivery systems now, but as we go through the 21st century.
So the Ebola Grand Challenge is a great effort by the United States government, specifically the U.S. Agency for International Development, the White House Office of Science and Technology Policy, and the CDC. Along with the Department of Defense. And ultimately, they were looking for new technology and innovations that would help both preventing and treatment of Ebola if another outbreak were to occur, which sadly may happen again, and we need to be prepared for it. And they took 1,500 ideas and went through them and carefully determined which ones would be the most effective and efficient at fighting an outbreak. And 14 were selected. And if you go on the Ebola Grand Challenge website, you can see all 14, and Modula-S was one of those selected. And out of that came the Modula-S Ebola treatment facility. And it's a facility based off the standard 40-foot ISO containers, and it has the ability to be shipped anywhere in the world rapidly, and you can put it down when an Ebola outbreak would occur, and you can isolate those people and keep them out of the heat, out of all the things that make it so hard to treat Ebola, both for the patients themselves and for the nurses and doctors doing the work. and provide a sustainable solution to help contain those outbreaks quickly and effectively.
Yeah, and also too, you're cleaning up the surrounding areas we were talking about earlier, as far as that blanket material that we have, as far as the mosquitoes and all the other things that are bringing infections and disease into the area. And if you're cleaning up the surrounding area, that's helpful because people are moving in and out of there. So it's almost like you're sanitizing, you know, the environment within the area of the units themselves. How do you move and construct these Modula-S?
That is one of the fantastic things about Modula-S. It is made out of the 20-foot and 40-foot ISO standard containers. So if you've ever driven past a ship going down a river or seen a truck with a big container on the back of it, those are the foundational capabilities of what make Modula-S. So each of those pieces are essentially Legos that fit together, which means we can ship them via air, ship them via container ship, or ship them via intermodal truck, and use existing technologies that, you know, we saw in the previous guest had a forklift moving around some of his stuff. Same principles for us, and we can get it into place quickly and effectively within days to anywhere in the world.
Now, mounting this insulation, I've been involved in a number of construction projects over the year. Are you actually putting this inside the container? Does it go on the outside, or is it both?
It ships on the inside and mounts on the outside. So you would ship it, and when you get to the final location, pull those panels out, they snap on the outside, and you have yourself the insulation capability that you were looking for at R60 Plus.
And so that goes right back to this Lego concept about how you put it together and all that. Jose, you have a last question. We have to be very quick because we have 2 questions for you, Bill.
Okay.
Yes, Bill, what do you see the role that Modula-S was going to play in bringing these advanced sustainable technologies to emerging countries around the globe?
So one of the things that Modula-S is focused on is the passive technology and making it very unique, reliable, and effective technologies that are going to be effective no matter what environment they're in. So when we look at emerging markets, they don't always have reliable power. They don't always have the access to everything we would see in other countries. So we provide the ability that something that can be put down quickly, independent of any resources that are out there, and be used effectively without having to rely on those sometimes unreliable resources that are there in the country.
And they just don't exist, for one thing, in these areas. Bill, last question. We have to be quick. What do you see for the growth of the company over the next 5, 10, 15 years?
Well, one thing we know that's constant is change. No matter what's going to happen between now and the next 5 years, 10 years, we're going to see change. We're going to see population growth. And our ability to, both as a company and as a population, to flex, adapt, innovate, provide tough and resilient solutions is going to be the key to sustaining ourselves as we move towards 2050. We see efficiency as the key in this, and wherever we can get the most out of the resources, we're investing into it. And improving over the long term, we have the ability, both as ITL Solutions and Modula-S.
Okay, Bill, we're going to lose you. ITL Solutions, as we create the Emerald Planet.
Thank you very much for having me.